everybody, and welcome to another episode of Total Apex Media Podcast. I'm your host, Corey. I'm here today with Molly, Big Game Nerd, and the lovely Michelle Kitts. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Of course,
Hello.
if you guys want to follow us, head over to our many social medias. Total Apex Media, or just head to our websites like totalapexentertainment.com or totalapexgaming.com or Total Apex Sports. We're working on a lot of that. But we'll leave a link, of course. Don't forget to like, share, comment, hit the bell on the YouTube video. So, how's everybody doing this week?
It's Friday.
Week 15 coming up. We're going to recap.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
That's not where we're going to start, though.
Sorry. I was trying to do something else, and it decided to mess up on me. My apologies.
Molly is running the tech today, a little behind the scenes look there. You had a little bit of fun doing that last week, didn't you, Molly?
Yes, I did. I have the power.
Sweet. As you see, our fourth is not here with us today, Mr. Andrew Kim. He is dealing with some personal business, but he did not leave us empty-handed for sports. So, I'd like to start us off, like always, with Total Apex Sports.
Last night's NFC South matchup, with Week 15 coming up, we're going to recap last night's NFC South matchup, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, trying to push for a playoff spot, absolutely choke it to the Kirk Cousins-led Atlanta Falcons, and the Kyle Pitts legacy game that we've been waiting for about 4 years. But this was reminiscent of last year's Falcons-Bucs game, where Kirk Cousins also torched Tampa Bay for over 400 yards in their win. And yeah, this is kind of maybe their last stand for Tampa to try to win the NFC South and get in the playoffs, because now the Carolina Panthers are ahead of them in the division, and they're going to be fighting for it at the end. But I think this should be Todd Bowles' last season with the team, potentially, even though he signed a extension. I'm not sure how you really can tell running it back. They just have to either get a new offensive coordinator or do something, because Baker Mayfield has not been himself the last about month and a half. It was a crazy game. Bijan Robinson did his thing. Kyle Pitts broke a lot of tight end records, 11 catches, 166 yards, 3 touchdowns. He hasn't done that since his rookie year. Outshined Trey McBride and Brock Bauer for their career highs for this year in a single game. And, he did something no other tight end did since 1996 with Shannon Sharp with his stat line, especially the 3 touchdowns. That is, I know they didn't have Drake London, but this was a, massive breakout spot for him, and he's a pending free agent at the end of the year. But now we're going to get into the top 3 games to watch. We have the Bills at Patriots, AFC East, 9-4 Bills going into New England against 11-2 Patriots, trying to fight for that 1 seed in New England. And I think the Bills can get it done. It'll probably be another, potential snow game, maybe in New England, as opposed to Buffalo. It always snowed there, but Buffalo favored -1.5 on the road with a 49.5 over/under. I think I think the Bills can get it done. I just don't know about the Patriots team because they just haven't been tested by a legit opponent. And even though the Bills defense isn't great, they still have. I would still take their offense over New England's offense, but the Patriots do have a better balanced team. In this matchup, at least, I think Buffalo could get it done on 1 o'clock. The second game to watch is the Green Bay Packers at 9-3-1 at the top of the NFC North for now, going against the Broncos, also, who were I think they're tied or they have the tiebreaker over the Patriots with the 1 seed in the AFC at 11-2, and going to Denver can be tough for the Packers, especially Josh Jacobs is questionable with the knee, so if he's out, that just makes it tougher for Green Bay. Surprisingly, they're favored on the road -2.5. I would take Denver in that spot. The over/under 42.5. They're both pretty aggressive teams. So even in a big time spot like that, I would potentially go the over. And but for the earlier game, the Bills pass game, I would probably stay the line, or maybe take the under at 49.5, just because. You really need the Patriots to push Buffalo for a higher scoring game. But their defense in New England, I think it might mute it, but I would still give the edge to Buffalo by like 3. But going back to the Packers Denver game, it's going to be cold the whole weekend, so especially over there. So. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere in Mile High. I think Denver gets it done and stays on top of the AFC. And then the last game I want to highlight is the NFC. Going back to the massive Stafford, Jared Goff trade that happened with the Rams and Lions. The Lions are trying to, push for the wild card at 8-5. And, still trying to only just 1 game out of the NFC North, so they still have a shot. But the Rams look like a juggernaut at 10-3, but they have to keep pace with Seattle, also at 10-3 in the NFC West. So, even in LA, they still have to, prove to themselves they can compete and be a potential Super Bowl candidate. Because even if they are on paper, that doesn't mean they're going to make it at the end. In LA, it's Rams favored by 6, 54.5 over under. I would potentially go the under just because that total is so high, but it is indoors, so expect a lot of points potentially, but I think it could get up to just 50 or 51, 52. 54.5 total is pretty high, but I would potentially go the line here. They looked pretty good last week with the Amon-Ra St. Brown back, but they do have a tougher test against the Rams defense that have been known to shut down running backs compared to last year. So it'll be interesting if they lean on Gibbs or if they have Goff throw more to Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra and so on. But I think the Lions can cover, but the Rams I think win by maybe 3, or they just squeak it out. But it could be a 30-20 game. That's where I see it. The Lions defense isn't great, but I think we saw the Rams against the Panthers. Stafford could be, he's one of the more aggressive quarterbacks in the league. He could be a little turnover prone and streaky when the lights are on. So I'm not sure what we're going to get out of him. He did rebound last week perfectly fine. He was great and everything, but, the Lions defense, they still have Aiden Hutchinson. They could force 1 or 2 turnovers, and that might be all you need to win the game. So those are my games of the week to watch for week 15, right before the playoffs.
And that was Andrew. Thank you, Andrew, of course, for putting the video for us together. You guys can go check out Andrew and all his articles and everybody else's articles over at totalapexsports.com. And, of course, via our Instagram, or not Instagram, our social medias as well, because we have stuff pop up on there every once in a while. So
we try to have it at least every day.
Yeah, we try.
Try.
I'm not good with the football. I probably throw it and break a window.
I can throw it. I'm just it goes like that way half the time. And
What about you, Michelle? How's your football skills going?
I'm not good at throwing them, but I caught one with my face once.
Ouch. Ouch.
and Andrew is tortured every time he comes on air with us. I feel so bad for him.
Look at him as tortured as possible right now. He's so tortured he's frozen.
Poor Andrew. Thanks, Andrew.
Let's spare him the torturousness of our inability to understand sports.
Yeah. Well, from sports to another type of sports, entertainment. Our first thing, of course, is yesterday we did a live stream for Supergirl teaser trailer. We kind of talked a little bit about it yesterday, and we gave our sort of opinions and all that stuff about it. But I want to give a more sort of in-depth. First and foremost, the tone and style, the trailer itself was very high energy. I went back and rewatched it. I know some of us weren't able to hear.
Sorry, technical issues on my end.
But
apparently you need a whole nother cable for that. So I don't have that.
We'll figure it out next time.
We'll figure it out next time. But that being said, it was still a visually stunning trailer.
It got me excited.
Yeah.
And I don't like to watch movies, so yep.
Of course, there's some key trailer moments in there with Supergirl celebrating her birthday with her dog Crypto. Michelle, I think you were pretty much right on that when she said she around her age and whatnot. 23. Not 21, 23.
That was Molly.
Y'all look the same. No, y'all look the same.
Twins.
But to celebrate him, of course, we get a good close up of Millie Alcock and her Supergirl suit. But of course, the main plot for the story is that it follows Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin, on a galactic journey to become that becomes a quest for vengeance and justice. She travels and meets, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Ruthie Mary No, played by Eve Ridley, a young alien whose father is murdered by a violent villain, which I'm assuming is the villain of the piece. This is pretty much unlike any traditional superhero movie, but it honestly has Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it. I feel like any space movie that James Gunn does will feel like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Quite possibly. A lot of directors have a style, so.
Of course, this movie not only has Millie Alcock, but it also has Jason Momoa returning to DC as a different character, aka the main man himself, Lobo. We didn't really get a good look, and even in the picture, if you see here, it's not really too much of a clear picture, somewhat. But at least we got a good like he looks good. I'm not gonna lie, he looks like he should be. He should have been Lobo years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he couldn't not look good. So
this is true.
He's Jason Momoa.
Objectively, he is a very handsome man.
He's okay. This movie is set, of course, set to be released on June 26, 2026 in the United States. This will be the second movie of the Gods and Monsters saga of the DCU. Who knows where it's going to go? Next topic, please. All right. Coming up in March, which I did it again. Sorry, y'all. March 5th, 2026. It always does that. Ted Season 2. Have y'all seen the first season of Ted, or at least the Ted movies?
I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
I have skimmed the movies. I am like the most boring person in the world. I can't stand to watch movies. Sit down and just watch movies. My attention span does not allow me. But I have seen clips of it. Don't get me wrong. I have seen clips.
Yeah.
So.
I actually think I liked the second movie better because I really liked. There was just something about the overall story that I liked. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good civil. It was not. They had a civil rights story in a teddy bear movie, which was cool. My favorite scene of that whole movie in the second movie would literally be them finding out about New York Comic Con, and then
I loved the Comic-Con part. Maybe that's why I love it so much.
Well, in the scene, it's them finding out about New York Comic Con. They got people crossing the street in Star Wars uniforms and everything. And Amanda Seyfried, I know I'm butchering her name, of course. She ends up confusing them with Star Trek. And the Star Wars is like, what the they're getting in an argument a little bit about it. And then the last guy in the stormtrooper has to say, I'm sorry you had to put up with that.
I didn't even actually know there was a Ted series, so I'm learning about this for the first time.
So Ted, the Ted series came out, I would say a year or two ago. It follows the young adventures, of course, of Johnny and Ted in high school. The first episode of it literally has Ted actually committing something, kind of gets him landed into high school. In this series, we not only get to spend time with his mother and father, who we met in not only the first season, but the first movie, played by different actors, of course, but we also get to meet his cousin in there as well. And we get to navigate their whole young journey into growing up into Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Season two will further this this journey with them completely, and we'll see. I feel like we're going to see a lot more. Let's see. Seth MacFarlane already pushes the boundaries a little bit with Family Guy. I know that.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot more boundaries pushed on this one. They even at some point had a joke about a store guy talking to them who doesn't really work at the store about condoms at some point. So
okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Moving on to the next topic. Thank you. Street Fighter. Last night at the what was the Game Awards again?
The Game Awards.
Just the Game Awards. Okay.
They're called the Game Awards, yeah.
They went simple. But last night we got our first look at Street Fighter. And they released not only a teaser trailer, which looks fun, but they also released a bunch of character posters. So we'll go through the character posters real quick. If you see Guile is played by Cody Rhodes from WWE, but you also have Roman Reigns playing is it what is it? Blanca? If I remember correctly.
Blanca?
Yeah. Hold on.
It's been a while since I've seen a Street Fighter movie.
No. Jason Momoa is playing Blanca. My bad.
Okay.
And Jason Momoa, 2 stories. 2 weeks he gets 2 trailers. Roman Reigns is actually playing. He is actually playing. It says it right here somewhere. I know. Kuma. Okuma is going to make his first on-screen appearance on here. Mike, I like their choice for the announcer guy, by the way, which is Eric Andre, who you can already kind of tell he's going to be a wild one of that whole movie. But if you have to pick somebody that will probably be not really a standout star, but probably talked about for the next couple months as far as this movie, it's going to be Curtis 50 Cent Jackson as Balrog. Yes, he's playing the boxer in the movie.
Oh,
Who is-
really?
Mm-hmm. Who?
Oh, okay. Yeah, their names are hard to read in the image, so
Yeah.
It's really hard to see their names because they're kind of small on my screen. But I just saw that they gave him a weird lineup in his hair, didn't they?
That's the point. He's going
I know,
traditional. If
it's
you
so-
look at the video game, his hair's like that.
Yeah, I remember. I was just like, dang. Okay, they're staying pretty true to the original source. So
They're trying to, and it looks like it's going to be a fun one. It looks like it's not going to take itself too seriously at all. So
yeah, you
Um,
really can't.
you can't. Not with Street Fighter. It's just
no, not at all.
off the wall the entire time.
It's been a long time since we've had a Street Fighter movie, so it's been
Yeah.
interesting.
And I was saying to Molly earlier before we
Started.
before we started that the first Street Fighter seemed like it was taking itself seriously, but it was just very cheesy.
Yeah.
This one looks like it's going to be somewhat cheesy and fun with a lot of action and not take itself too seriously. So you can expect to watch this, of course, October 16th, 2026. All right. Now the next story.
My bad.
You're good. And this should be the last one. Yeah. And so finally, what I want to talk about is the issues going on with Miles Morales royalties, basically. Sarah Pacelli, co-creator of Miles Morales, does not actually get any kind of royalties. She stated there that I don't get nothing. I don't get anything. That's the saddest part of my life. She's co-creator of this whole character and everything, but she doesn't get anything from the Spider-Verse movies. She doesn't get anything from the Insomniac video games or anything from merch. This is kind of a big issue that has been talked about in the comic book community.
Mm-hmm.
Not once, but a few times now, where historically comic book artists will write their characters and a company will buy them, like Marvel will buy that character or something if you create it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, historically comic creators' rights have been a long-standing point of contention, especially when companies retain full ownership of characters and their adaptations while paying creators only page rates with no ongoing royalties. Personally, I think a creator, if you create something, you gotta have some kind of stake in it, no matter what, royalty wise or anything.
Yeah, problem is that the industry standard, that's what they say. They go into, this is the industry standard. We'll pay you a fair rate for your stuff, but you've relinquished all, rights and claims to the character once you've handed it over to the company you were working with.
I think it comes down to whether they're an employee. So like if she's an employee of DC, then, or Marvel, this would be Marvel. Everything she does, it belongs to the company and doesn't belong to her. But if she's contracted to them for the work, then it's built into the contract. So
right, and
it depends on that.
And it's a traditional contract that they end up having to sign. Marvel has been doing it not just for comic books, but they literally have a quote unquote workshop that writers go to learn how to write like Marvel movies, comic books and wise. And if you come up with a good idea or a good script and whatnot, they typically won't cut you in on a deal. You'll get a name on there, but that's about it.
Yep. Because you use their resources and everything. So everything that you've made while under their name automatically belongs to them.
Right.
It's a very predatory practice, in my honest opinion, because comic book writers in general aren't the richest people unless they've hit that, big break and everything. Because they're probably working several jobs because nobody wants to hire a comic book artist for anything other than writing comic books, and so they're having to do odd jobs and everything.
That sucks.
And longevity
they can't afford the lawyers to review the contracts and everything.
Right. And longevity is a big thing as well when it comes to that. So if you're somebody like a Jim Lee or a Stan Lee, you know, you're going to, you know, you're going to benefit from that. But if you're something like,
Right.
if we decide to make a comic book, a Total Apex Media comic book, which we won't throw out there as an idea because we know how that's going to go. But if we decide, if we decide to do that, it's just like, are we going to see anything from it?
No longevity there whatsoever. So I understand, like, from the business side, you want to have something that'll like be a long-lasting cash cow, but it's still, honestly, it's just still a predatory practice because of how much it like puts, like, just degrades the hard work of the original creator. So
right.
Well, that's part of the reason why, like, in the world of writing novels and stuff like that, you have so many writers choosing to go indie instead of going with big publishers. Similar, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, oh, that's right. You are an author, aren't you? I forgot about that.
Yep.
So
my books are self-published for that very reason.
Yeah, and where could people find your books? Plug.
Amazon, Apple, pretty much anywhere you can get books. And my website, michellekitz.com, is the best place to find all those links.
Sweet. Well, guys, that's
science fiction.
Science fiction-y. All right, well, everybody, that's been entertainment for the day. From entertainment to gaming-tainment. Is that a word?
Sorry, your pause sounded like the cue for me to hit that button. My apologies.
Yeah, for 2 seconds. Damn, just step on my.
She's just like, you're done.
I was trying to say from entertainment to gaming-tainment, but whatever.
My bad. I'm sorry. I pay attention better next time. Anyway, if you are a fan of Fortnite, you should expect a Kim Kardashian collab coming this weekend because she is now part of the Fortnite franchise, where you will see her in all 8 of her alternative outfits and styles and hairstyles and accessories that you can get in Fortnite. She is staking her claim on yet another industry because it's like she doesn't have other stuff to do. But here's the deal. It's not going to be cheap. None of these are going to be for free. Let's see, her fur coat that you see looking so lovely on her character on the screen. It's going to cost you about 1,500 V-Bucks, the currency you use in Fortnite to buy like premium equipment and skins and everything. Her purse pickaxe, which is not featured, I could not find the image of it, but it's going to be. This is just a small list of the stuff because she has a pretty detailed list. Her purse pickaxe is going to be 800 V-Bucks, and even her paper magazine pose, which is an emote that you can do with your character, to make them do like really fancy, funny dances and everything, is going to be 500 V-Bucks. So the emote is not free at all, even like if you get her character. So there's several others, and it's going to cost you some money if you want it. So she's getting her money's worth, I guess. But a lot of people are saying this is another advertisement for her Skims suits that she's been kind of advertising lately. I don't know what they are.
No idea.
I'm assuming it's the outfit she's got on in the black one.
Maybe.
I'm hoping that's it because I feel stupid for not looking that up. But
I should probably know, being that I'm on Lifestyles.
Yeah. But she is expected to come appear in Fortnite this Saturday, the 13th. So December 13th, 2025, you can expect to have a lot of Kim Kardashians running around because of how popular and prevalent she is, and just cultural society and everything. She's now a cultural icon. Everybody knows who Kim Kardashian is. She has a video. They have a video. They even have a video trailer for it on the Fortnite YouTube channel. So you get to see her iconic pose where, you know, she's popping the champagne bottle and it goes over her head and everything. They don't have it exactly like the pose that she did in the magazine, but y'all know the one I'm talking about.
No.
Yeah, Corey said, like, yes, I know that pose.
Here's my big issue with this. I feel like she's gonna be a waste of anybody's download time or whatever for that skin or money, to be honest with you. I'd rather rewatch the Kill Bill thing that they did last week. That was awesome.
Well, it's just become Fortnite's kind of MO, their ethos, I guess you could say. They like to collab with just like really popular figures. We just had like the Kill Bill. We've had
The Simpsons was a big thing.
Yeah, The Simpsons, Scooby Doo. We just had the Halloween one where it was crap. What was the Halloween one? Crap. I'm drawing a blank on that, but yeah, Fortnite's just become the playground for like really popular icons, just to kind of converge and give people let people allow the flex of, hey, I can afford to get this because it's going to cost you money. And V-Bucks, y'all know how microtransactions are. The amount of V-Bucks is like usually not correlated to how much you spend on the dang things. But yeah, Fortnite's probably going to make a killing, especially with how popular Kim Kardashian is for people like of our year range all the way down, because she's always on the news and she's always, you know, makeup and beauty and stuff like that. So, but
Well,
that's all I have for that.
that's interesting.
I went like this. Okay, but our next one is going to be on the Game Awards, which is what Corey referenced, kind of hinted at in his segment. And I'm just going to tell you that it's he left us.
Yep, he had to go.
Yeah, that's right. He had to dip, but anyway. But we're
He
going
left us in charge again.
He left us in charge. He shouldn't do that,
No,
especially if
it's a
it's
bad
me
idea.
and you. If it's me and you with no third person, this is dangerous territory right here. Basically, if you remember the Golden Joystick Awards, you are probably going to get a sense of deja vu when I tell you that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 won almost every award it got nominated for again. Let's see what is in their whole take home to the parents to show off in the trophy case. They've got Best Narrative, Best RPG, Best Score in Music, because they have some very, very awesome music, Best Game Direction, Best Debut Indie Game, Best Independent Game, and Jennifer English and her wonderful acting got her another Best Performance Award as well. So they made out like bandits again, but honestly, they do deserve it because they came out of just nowhere and made a bomb ass game. And it's even better because it's technically a French RPG that a lot of people were not expecting to do very well, but the gameplay, the music, the details, and the graphics, oh my gosh, it is. I haven't played it. I want to play it so bad because of how well the graphics look. They just look so beautiful. It's got a great storyline. Honestly, I've only seen tidbits of it, and it makes me cry. Okay, in some of the situations, I'm just like, why? But yeah,
I should look
Uh,
into this.
you should. It is a very good game. If you like RPGs, this is a game
I
you
do.
should play. Um, but that's all I have. Like there is a whole like list, laundry list of awards that were given last night at the Game Awards. If you were paying attention last night, but this was like the only one because I was like, I'm getting a sense of deja vu because Claire Obscure just took it home, and I honestly can't wait to see what they do next. I'm worried that they're going to try and live up to the hype, to the excellence of Claire Obscure. There's the studio that created Claire Obscure, or Kepler Interactive was the publisher, and for some odd reason I cannot remember the developer. I should have wrote it down. I apologize for that. And I'm worried that they're going to try and live up to Claire Obscure and basically bomb their second game, and that worries me because a lot of studios have fallen victim to that. Like, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
I will
Can't wait.
definitely be looking into this game because it looks pretty.
Oh, it's very pretty. They have an art book. They have vinyl. They have vinyl records that has the entire score of the game on it. They went wild with all of the merch that you could get after it blew up when it was released. So it's a very fascinating game. Let's just put it that way.
I will be checking it out.
But that is everything I have for gaming because I can wax. Because I can just, talk all the time about games. I just don't want to impede on Michelle's her own living.
We could just talk about games all day.
We could.
But then
we talk
Corey's
about
going
Disney-
to come back and tell us we went too long.
Yeah. So we'll just go and talk about living now.
Let's do it. All right. I don't have a whole lot today. I just wanted to, with the crazy weather that we've been experiencing up here in the Midwest, talk about some travel and travel safety. So, because I've seen cars in ditches, we've seen already accidents and stuff, and it is only December 12th. So Mother Nature has only just begun to pummel us with winter weather. So we actually have an article on our website, Winter Travel Safety Tips for Snowy Roads by Alicia Fournier, one of our very prolific writers. And some of the tips that she presents us with here are things like preparing your vehicle before you go, and just make sure that everything is good with your car. Check the tires, the fluids, the lights, the battery, your windshield wipers, and all of this stuff really you should have done before winter arrived. But if you haven't, it's a good idea to go and get this taken care of. If you cannot do it yourself, get a professional. Make sure you're prepared with emergency supplies, things like a snow shovel. You don't necessarily think of it, but I actually found this great little snow shovel at a store near me, which actually has a handle that kind of collapses. It's a telescoping handle, so it makes itself smaller, so it can fit in the car better, so that you can have that on hand. Make sure you've got one or more ice scrapers, jumper cables, and stuff you wouldn't even necessarily think about, which are like blankets, some snacks, and water, just in case you get stranded. Yes, the water is probably going to freeze, but you'll still be grateful for it if you're stuck in a spot. Like, say your car gets stuck, or there's a massive traffic accident that gets you stuck on a road for an extended period of time. We've seen it happen. Just be prepared. Make sure that you have the equipment that you need in case one of your tires gets flat, and things like that as well. In some regions of the country, you may be required to have chains. If if you're there, you probably already know that, but make sure you have what you need. I've driven through the mountains one time when it was snowing, and there was a light, like a sign that said trucks needed to put on chains, and I was like, "What?"
Mhm. Yep. You don't want one of those barreling down an icy road on the mountains. Nope.
Yeah, no, it was really weird.
Yeah.
But and then while you're actually driving, you want to adjust your driving habits. Now, all you folks out there with your 4-wheel drive, I get it. You feel invincible. You're big. You're sitting up above the road. I've had a great big SUV with the 4-wheel drive. You feel amazing. But here's the thing. You can still slide. You can still end up in a ditch. You can still get stuck. And those four-wheel drive cars might be helpful, but it's not a guarantee, and it doesn't really make you that much safer. So
I'm sensing some practical, some trauma from seasons past where this happened to you before.
not myself. I've never actually been stuck in a ditch. I got stuck in my driveway the other day, but not in a ditch. And because I'm the driver that annoys the other drivers because I do slow down.
Yeah.
So I see these big 4-wheel drives go around me and like go flying down the road, and I'm like, I can see the icy patch ahead of me, and I'm hoping that you're not going to slide, because then I'm going to have to slam on my brakes and try not to hit you.
Mhm.
So it's for everyone's safety. Slow down and pay attention, because especially when there's this, you can't tell when the road looks clear and
Mhm.
you don't see anything, there could still be black ice.
Mhm.
You don't know what's there, so just be cautious, and pay attention to what's going on around you. Put some extra distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, in case you do have to slow down. You don't want to have to slam on your brakes, because if you're on ice and you hit your brakes hard, you will slide.
Mhm.
Guarantee you will slide.
So unless you know the defensive driving when it comes to slipping and sliding on the road, you don't need to be, going very fast and following very close
Yes.
on dangerous terrain. and dangerous weather.
Exactly. Be careful taking your turns. Give yourself a little bit slower on their turns,
Mhm.
and don't use your cruise control on snow and ice. Just don't.
Nope.
Let's see. We already talked about having blankets and stuff in your car, but you probably want other things like extra gloves. If you're not going to be wearing boots, maybe have them in your car, especially if there's a lot of snow. A first aid kit, extra stuff to keep you warm.
Keep talking. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okie doke. All right, and let's see. So also be aware of the weather forecast. These days, pretty much the weather is in front of us all the time, but not everyone thinks to check. Even in the morning, like when you're going to be going on your commute or whatever, you make sure that you know what to expect, because the conditions could change, and you want to prepare yourself, make sure you have enough time. So, because if you're in a hurry, if you're going to be late to work or wherever you need to be, then that puts you in a more dangerous situation. You're more likely to be a little bit aggressive in your driving, and be less safe. So just give yourself that extra time. And then finally, just make sure that you're familiar with what to do in case your car does hit ice and slide. Because if you don't already know, if you're not prepared, you may panic. You don't want to do that. I'm not the expert to give you advice, but check out resources like the AAA or the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration websites. These are great resources for information and further details about what we've been talking about and what you'll find in our article as well. Be extra cautious on things like bridges, overpasses, anywhere where there's shade. If you're going to be driving through farmland, expect there to be drifting, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
So just be prepared. That's the main thing, is to think ahead.
Yeah, I actually have found out that there is something, or no, I watched this lady on YouTube. She's awesome. I like the way she talks because she's technically from Norway, but she lives on Svalbard, island close to the North Pole. Island country close to North Pole.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insanely cold there. Let's just put it that way. But she has this gadget where it's the bigger snow shovel, and basically it looks like a sled. I guess you could use it as a sled if you wanted to, but you use it to scoop up snow and just move it, just slide it to where you need to go, because it literally just glides on the ice and snow. I was like, that'd be a very interesting thing to have because
that's really cool. I need to find something like that.
Kind of decreases the amount of energy and stuff you put into shoveling, because backbreaking work right there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't really know because I live in the South, but we do get the occasional snow that paralyzes traffic in Atlanta.
Right. Well, having grown up with snow and just learning to driving on it and everything for my entire, adult life, you get used to it, but sometimes it comes and you're just not prepared. So it bears repeating, and it's worth not assuming that everybody knows what to do, because we might have some folks up here from like other places that don't experience snow all the time.
True, yeah. That this is for people like me who have never experienced good snow.
Yeah. And we've got some young drivers out there for sure. Every year you've got new drivers on the road who have probably been educated but haven't listened. So it's all gone in one ear and out the other.
They don't got the practicals yet.
Exactly. So repetition is worth it. I do want to mention just briefly one more article that we have on our site that I think would be really useful or interesting to everybody, and that is our winter road trips, scenic routes across America you should see. And this one was done by our writer, Becky Cross, another very prolific writer. And so just pop on over and check this out. She's got information on some various routes like Vermont's Route 100 and Yosemite's Valley Loop in California, places that are going to be cold and places that are going to be warm, some places you can experience this time of year that will be really, really interesting and beautiful for you to take a little road trip if you feel so inclined.
Can we talk about health on this segment? I can't remember if that's the living thing. No, I just wanted to remind people that this is the season of sickness. Very easily sick, but as of right now, it's not very it's the measles thing I was telling you about the other day. Yeah. I just want to make sure that everyone's aware that there is a small outbreak of it in South Carolina, and I'm not trying. This isn't for fear mongering and everything. It's just that with how contagious measles are, if you live in South Carolina or kind of live close to the borders of it, then try and be careful because of how infectious it was. But this just goes for all kind of sicknesses and diseases that are easily, transferred from person to person. Especially since we just got done with the big C that nobody ever wants to talk about. We don't want something like that happening again. So just be aware. And if you start hearing about sicknesses and stuff in your area, then you need to start taking proper precautions, be it before you touch anything in your house, you automatically go and take a shower, throw your clothes in the wash and everything, because especially if you have relatives that live with you that are immunocompromised and have weakened immune systems through no fault of their own, because that's usually how immunocompromised people are.
Right.
So just this is the season of sickness. It always is, since the since time immemorial. So just be careful because they are ramping up with flu, colds. I can't
Right.
tell you how many colds I've caught because I've gone outside and stood next to somebody with a cold, and then the next day I'm just like, achoo! So,
Right. So I guess, as for most of your stuff like your cold and flu and stuff like that, you can wear a mask if you're going to be in a crowded situation. We certainly all have plenty of them still.
Yes.
And wash your hands, don't touch your face, things like that until you've washed your hands. If you've been out in public, just do the normal precautions, have some hand sanitizer on hand. But the thing about measles is that it's one of the most contagious diseases. And I was actually reading that I think they were up to like 247 cases or something like that in South Carolina, and that's just confirmed cases because there's probably more, and that's just in one state because have been outbreaks in other places as well. If you do an internet search, it's not that hard. It's not hard to find like a map, and so just be careful because, like Molly was saying, if you have folks who are especially vulnerable, like elderly people, people who are immunocompromised, folks who cannot, for whatever reason, be vaccinated, those are the kind of folks who are going to be most likely to be very most impacted if they were to get infected. So just be careful out there, folks.
This is just a PSA from us, just for everyone to be careful, because
we care.
We care. We don't want another demic hitting us, either epi or pan. So
No.
So yeah, just be careful. But let's see, what else do we have for living?
That's all I've got.
That's all we have for today, folks. I'm actually surprised that we went this long. We weren't expecting to be here this long. Actually, we thought this was going to be a short episode.
Corey's going to be proud of us.
He's going to be wow. Apparently, we talk just a lot in general. So yeah. So I guess we'll have.
Ooh, I have a gaming thing though.
Okay. So
I actually did yesterday the article for the Epic Game Store's free games for the week. But they are actually having a huge sale right now, and one of the things they're doing is giving away all these kind of like really cool like game packs with like cosmetics and boosters and stuff like that. And they didn't release the free game title until after 8 p.m. Eastern time is when they released it. So I had to update the article later. And it's the Hogwarts something
Legacy
game.
Hogwarts Legacy? Yeah.
That's it. So that's a $60 game that's free right now. So go check out my article on TotalApexGaming.com for all the full details.
Yeah, I mean, $60 for free? Heck yes.
Yeah, and that's not all. Like, there's a free pack in there for Infinity Nikki, so I'm all over this stuff.
Oh, I can't wait to see what you play.
Yeah, and I know there's a Fortnite thing and the warships thing, and there's a whole bunch of games in there that have all these great packs and stuff. So you'll want to check out that list for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I don't even have the specs to play any of these games on my computer, but I still want them. I want them so much.
Oh, there's like a Fall Guys skin that is super adorable. So if you play Fall Guys, you'll want that for sure.
Ooh, yep. I can't wait to see it. I gotta look it up after this. But that's gonna be it for us today for our Total Apex Media podcast. If you're interested in learning more, we all write and manage the Total Apex sites. We work for TotalApexGaming.com,
TotalApexEntertainment.com, and
our
TotalApexSports.com and Fantasy and Bets.
So come and check us out on either of those sites. You'll probably find some of us there gushing and geeking out about anything and everything we can based on our subjects. If you want to find us on social media, I am Molly the Game Nerd on X, Instagram, and YouTube and Blue Sky.
And you can find all my links at michellekits.com.
Corey is Epps World. I do remember that.
Yep.
And I cannot remember Andrew's because his is really long.
Don't remember.
I think it's like Kooky Kim with some numbers at the end of it. But he's go and follow them if you can. Follow all of us actually if you can. But hopefully we'll be able to see everyone next week for our episode 5.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.